Well, we are back 3 maps down, a potential 2 more to go before the night is over. So I guess you might be out of time right now, but you can still connect your BattleNet to maybe catch up on those drops, just in case you haven't. There might be an hour left in the stream, you never know, but either way, let's get this back underway. This matchup has been absurd. Vindarive have bounced back and forth, but Exo Sakura have been the ones out on top.
It's been so close on so many of these maps, but King's Row is where Sakura really locked in. That 5-minute time bank on the overtime push, just too much for Vindarive to handle. The 5-4 victory, meaning that once again, we are back over to Vindarive's map pick. The last time worked out great for them on Shambali, but now working with Push and Flashpoint, and looks like they have opted to take us to the Flashpoint map type. So regardless of which one we end up on, okay, it's gonna be a repeat of New Junk City here on the stream for everybody. But yeah, I think that we're still gonna kind of end up back over on these brawl compositions that we've seen these teams more so opt for on Shambali.
I mean, again, no Ramatra ban, at least for Exo Sakura. Of course, we could see a potential ban of Ramatra from Vindarive, depending on how they feel about it. I'm just curious, right? Like, it's one of those things where we've talked about everything, we've kind of laid it out, we've seen that it was Exo Sakura to flourish on their map pick, but was it because the Ramatra was gone, or was it just because they felt really good on King's Row? Either way, I think that this ban is going to hold a lot of weight, and we are going to see it matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, of course, all of these bans do matter, but, like, this one, I feel like, is the heavy hitter of the whole series.
Yeah, I agree. Heading into New Junk City, there's a very kind of specified type of style that we're going to end up on here. It's probably not going to be dive. It's probably not going to be poke. So you're looking at, what can you ban out in a brawl composition that isn't also going to be shooting yourself in the foot? We're probably not going to see the Lucio ban come out. We're probably not going to see the Kiriko ban come out. I think that if I'm Vindarive, I'm probably more so targeting one of these DPS. But the DPS ban that I think would make sense, the Venture, we actually saw Exo Sakura sub Jeremy in to play that, so they could potentially just sub Jeremy out, right? Put Zoe back into the mix here for New Junk City. It's kind of having that flexibility is really, really helpful when it comes to these bans.
Yeah, I'd actually pretty much agree there. I mean, again, you don't really want to ban the supports because everybody is running the same kind of thing all the time. And then as for the tanks, you only have so many options left to really control it. It becomes kind of a second priority. Which DPS is giving you the biggest set of problems right now? And is it that Venture? Is it the Sojourn? Is it Freya? Which, of course, they couldn't ban. But, you keep kind of thinking those different ways. And you're like, I don't really know anymore. So they must be cooking something up, because this could very well spell their defeat in this matchup, right? They are on match point for the opposing side, which means they need to salvage whatever they can here to get the victory.
Yeah, just got word also that Zoe will be subbing in for Jeremy here for Exo Sakura. So if you're Vindarive, you're probably, no, you're still gonna go for that Venture ban, expecting that maybe Zoe or Ivory would be pulling it out. And okay, Sakura kind of cooking here. They are gonna come out with that Lucio ban, despite playing Lucio throughout this entire series.
I actually love this, though. Just like the roster move of swapping out Jeremy for Zoe onto the Tracer, most likely was what they will be playing, and then you get rid of the Lucio, which means that the positioning is going to be even more key. You can't just get out of dodge in every which way. I mean, granted, we saw, what was it, a Moira in our first matchup today?
We did, yes.
So you can kind of go any which way. I mean, that's a good character to reposition on, so don't get me wrong. But it's like, okay, Tracer, if that's the name of the game that you're trying to run here, which is relatively telegraphed because Zoe's in this match. Now, how do you play around that in terms of the tank lineup?
Yeah, that's the question, right? I think that I've been saying, you know, brawl, 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 but I do think you could potentially still run the diva here. I think that the issue runs into if you run the diva that there's some pretty solid counters to the diva. The Zarya is still on the table. The Ramatra also can be kind of a counter to the diva where you just force a fight on those flash points themselves. But the diva can be nice for that heal potential. I also think, since Exo Sakura is the one that banned out the Lucio, I think we could potentially see Regime go over onto the Wuyong here. We saw it on King's Row, and the Wuyong can actually be a pretty strong impact to kind of pair with this Tracer, because you get, it's like a Zenyatta orb, right? You can just send Tracer off on her own and she'll just do the damage and get the healing.
Not only that, but the same kind of logic as the railgun from a soldier, and combined with the tickle of the Tracer in the end, right? You land one solid orb, you say, oh, this is the target I'm going after. Boom, all you need to do is land a few shots and you can get out of the dodge. So, again, I'm liking that. I feel like that is a very solid strategy. Of course, Regime hovering the Brigitte, but then again, Mari hovering the Malga. So, do with that information what you will.
This is a throwback. The Malga with the Brig Juno. Fascinating. It's potentially an option here, as Outwind Arrive looking a little bit more standard here for what I'm expecting. Miss Sun is on the sim. Hopefully just for the TPO, but alright. It's Malga time. It is Malga time here for Exo Sakura, as Miss Sun is going to swap over onto the Reaper. So, especially comboed with Zoe over on this Genji, Exo Sakura needs to be looking for super strong engages with this Malga.
I think they're trying to hard read the fact that, right, Ramatra is going to be there, so if you can kind of force out that shield, you're then just having free reign to do whatever you want, as well as these slams, right, can be really big with someone like a Genji. With Zoe on that Genji, and Ivory is going to pick up the first here, the soldier, and of course, you know, just dealing out that damage. Mari finds two, just running in. You can do whatever you want, you're on Maga. Don't forget, that's how the character works, and finds three, almost a fourth. Runs out of bullets in the end, but not before everybody is dead and back to the spawn room. Oh boy, are we really going to see Maga Mirror?
Could Amity be considering it? Maybe not. She's going to stick on the Ramatra at least for now, but I think the beauty of, having this Malga for Exo Sakura is that you can, not only can you just opt to just ignore the Ramatra charge past him, but when you get the Nemesis form out of Ramatra, that's when Mari on this Malga is really going to be able to kind of sustain herself, right? You're such a big target on that Ramatra that you get free charge, free damage in from the Malga.
Yeah, all you need to do is just wait out that shield, or at least just play around it, right? As soon as someone peeks forward, you can use this over health, or the regen that you're getting from just firing away, and really see things go splendidly for you. Right now, the chase out over to the Juno in the skies. No way, you can fry them on down. They're burning, by the way. Yeah, there is the pick. And oh my gosh. I don't think that Vindarive missed the Malga meta.
No. Is this Exo Sakura secret weapon? They're like, okay, we are at a match point here. It's Malga time. We've waited long enough, especially on Flashpoint, where, you know, you're forced to either take the fights on these flashpoints where Malga is still gonna have a good time, or you can just kind of play for control of these choke points. It's working out either way really well for Sakura. Haven't had to commit any ultimates. We are gonna move over to the second Flashpoint Junkyard. Vindarive going to be able to get set up in this choke first here. You have the Annihilation and the Blossom to work with. You just need to find some space.
That's a lot of damage, though. There's a hard engagement from Vindarive. They had the right idea. It's just now that Maga's back up to 1,000,000 HP. Page fight in the mix. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's the strategy, but no, it's Miss on the opposite way. Gets tethered in and says, no, you're stuck in here with me. Zoe investing that Dragon Blade, but just not enough, and so this first capture should, in theory, go to Vindarive.
Huge Blossom from Miss Sun. She read that so well, using that to counter out the gauge from Mari. It's not quite there for Vindarive, though, as Mari gets back into these fights so quickly on the Malga.
Yeah, you can just run on in. It's like a Reinhardt charge, but like extra super duper speedy. And with a whole lot of bullets on the side as well. It will be that first cap for Exo Sakura, and Vindarive, they put in a lot of effort to win that fight, and they said, what do you mean we don't get to reap the rewards from it? So, unfortunate for them.
Yeah, and now you're stuck at this choke point, and now this is the rally on the side of Sakura, and
oh my!
Engage. The stop is massive.
Oh my, rally indeed now the mix, but just point blank distance, you really can't miss too many bullets. Big slam is going to be coming through, and I thought I'd be saying that on Reinhardt, but instead, we've got it on the Maga. Miss Sun goes down, Mari with 3, and even if there is a pesky little flip here, which was an attempt for, it will not matter in the end. Amity resetting themselves back to spawn, and I mean, this would be a way to end the day, that's for sure.
It really, really would. This Maga composition from Sakura is looking so good. Mari, 70% up to another cage fight here. Miss Sun has swapped over onto the Symmetra, so trying to use these TPs to just kind of get around these choke points, trying to avoid some of these stomping power.
I mean, this is just bullying, Mari. You can't be doing this to them like that. Amity, though, the Annihilation, at least having a chance to make a say here. Mari, of course, going to go down as that overclock is just going to chip away at her health. So much time and time again. Been derived, they win a fight, but now what do you have to deal with? It's a Juno ultimate, it's an overclock, it's a cage fight, and all you have left is a barrier wall.
This is it. It could be big from Miss Sun, though. It will be able to, you know, at least block out some of this overclock that's coming online. Maybe even try and save yourselves through the cage fight, although that's very, very risky. And you have to win multiple fights back to back because Exo Sakura is already at 99%.
Yeah, gonna be tough here, but see what they can get done. Zoe finds the initiative. And now that means that cage fight is gonna be prompt. Actually, yeah, it does kind of save them in this cage fight. Ideally, they get a little bit more value is, you know, you want to get those picks in as well, but Camera just gets slammed on down. Mari absorbing a bit too much damage. So now you do have Amity, maybe the only one left from their side. That orbital ray a bit too pungent, and that will spell disaster. Vindarive, well, they made a valiant attempt here, but the second flashpoint goes the way of Exo Sakura. One more, and they have secured the series for themselves.
Looking like we are not going to be walking too far to get to this next flashpoint. Bomb flats just right next door here. So Sakura have both these DPS alternates to hold on to this choke point. She's starting out with April. Oh no. Or Vindarive.
Well, there was an attempt. There was an attempt at that fight, and unfortunately it just did not go their way at all. No ultimates expended, I guess. That's the saving grace from either side, but again, if you're not forcing out ultimates from Exo Sakura, that means that Vindarive have got a few more things to now deal with in the